Batman Arkham Origins. The Arkham game everybody ignored. The one people said doesn't count because Rocksteady didn't make it. The one that launched buggy, got overshadowed, and never got the recognition it deserved. But here's the twist. Arkham Origins might actually be the best Batman game ever made. And today, I'm going to show you why the black sheep of the Arkham series delivered the most impactful story, the most brutal combat, the best boss fights, and the most accurate portrayal of a young Batman we've ever seen. When people think of Arkham Origins, the first thing that comes to mind should be the story, because this is the part that truly separates it from every other Arkham title. Origins doesn't give us the calm, calculated, legendary Dark Knight we know from the later games. Instead, it gives us something way more compelling. A raw, angry, unpolished Batman at the very beginning of his career. This Bruce Wayne isn't the confident protector of Gotham yet. He's still learning, still experimenting, still figuring out what it means to carry the weight of an entire city on his shoulders. He's colder, more aggressive, and a lot more reckless, because he hasn't learned the emotional discipline he has in Asylum or City. And that Christmas Eve setting, perfect. Gotham feels quiet, eerie, and lonely. A city on edge. The snow, the empty streets, the soft Christmas music mixed with crime scenes. It all creates a haunting atmosphere that reflects Batman's isolation. He doesn't have Gordon, he doesn't have Oracle, he doesn't even really have allies. It's just him and a city that hasn't decided whether it fears him or hates him. But the moment that elevates this story to legendary status is the Joker. Origins delivers one of the best Joker origin retellings in any Batman medium, games, movies, or comics. Not because of big explosions, but because of character. The first time Joker meets Batman, when he realises Bruce isn't terrified of him, but fascinated, that moment created the entire dynamic that shaped Arkham Asylum and Arkham City. It's the spark that ignited their lifelong psychological war. Arkham Origins didn't just tell an origin story for Batman, it told the beginning of the greatest rivalry in comic book history. It showed how their relationship formed, how their obsessions intertwined, and why they became inseparable forces in Gotham. It made everything in the rest of the Arkham series hit harder. Let's be real for a moment. Arkham Origins has the best boss fights in the entire franchise. It's not even close. Not Asylum, not City, not Night. Origins wins. The Deathstroke fight alone puts this game on a completely different level. This was the first time the Arkham combat system pushed players to their absolute limit. Deathstroke didn't feel like a gimmick or a cutscene. He felt like an equal. Every counter mattered, every mistake hurt. It was a duel. Two masters of combat going head to head. It was intense, cinematic, and unforgettable. But Origins didn't stop there. The Firefly fight took place high above Gotham, in a burning building, a huge, cinematic, heart-pounding chase. Copperhead turned the game into a psychological nightmare, with hallucinations and illusions blending into real combat. The Electrocutioner was hilarious. Shiva tested your precision. And Bane? This is the most terrifying, most brutal version of Bane in the entire Arkham series. Origins treated boss fights the way a Batman game should. Every assassin had a unique personality and fighting style. Every encounter mattered. Every showdown felt important to the story, not just something to check off a list. In the other Arkham games, a lot of boss fights were forgettable. They either felt like puzzles or short encounters with no emotional impact. In Origins, every boss fight had weight. This game understood that Batman's world is filled with assassins, criminals, and monsters, and their battles should feel like true tests of Batman's skill and determination. The most underrated achievement in Arkham Origins is its portrayal of Batman himself. Not the perfect detective, not the legendary warrior, not the unstoppable symbol of fear, but a young, angry, inexperienced Batman who still bleeds, still fails, and still doubts himself. This version of Bruce Wayne is rough around the edges. He takes unnecessary risks, he isolates himself, he pushes Alfred away, he gets frustrated, overwhelmed, and emotionally unstable, and that's exactly what makes him interesting. He hasn't learned restraint yet. He hasn't found his mission's true meaning. He hasn't accepted that he needs people. His relationship with Gordon is uncomfortable, tense, and full of distrust. Gordon sees him as a dangerous vigilante, not a partner. Batman doesn't trust the police and doesn't care if they trust him. Arkham Origins shows us Batman, not as a finished legend, but as a man still building the myth, still wrestling with trauma, still understanding his limitations, still shaping the rules he'll follow for the rest of his life. This is the most human version of Batman we've ever played, and arguably the most realistic. One of the biggest criticisms Origins gets is that it reused the map from Arkham City, but people forget something. It didn't feel like Arkham City. Origins transformed that map into a completely different world, and honestly, a better one. The decision to set the entire game on Christmas Eve changed everything. Gotham felt cold, massive, and alive in a way no other Arkham game captured. The snow, the dim street lights, the Christmas decorations next to crime scenes, it all created a haunting contrast. The city feels quieter, darker, more tense. You're not exploring a vibrant open world, you're moving through a Gotham on the brink of chaos. And because everything happens in one night, there's a constant sense of urgency. Even the police radio chatter adds to the world building. You hear officers debating whether Batman is a hero or a criminal. You hear criminals talking about the bounty. You hear bystanders reacting to the myth of the Batman in real time. Origins nailed atmosphere better than any other Arkham game. It made you feel like Gotham was a character in the story. Arkham Origins' detective system was the best the series ever had. Yes, even better than Arkham Knight. Reconstructing entire crime scenes, scrubbing timelines backwards and forwards, analysing bullet paths and impact points, figuring out what happened from small pieces of evidence. This felt like real detective work, not just scanning a glowing object and watching the game solve the mystery for you. Batman actually had to think. He had to investigate. He had to piece together clues like a forensic expert. Origins is the only Arkham game that made players feel like the world's greatest detective, not just the world's greatest fighter. And now we get to the sad truth. Arkham Origins was underrated, not because it was bad, but because people didn't give it a chance. It wasn't made by Rocksteady. It launched with bugs. It released between two giants, Arkham City and Arkham Knight. And because of all that, fans dismissed it before they even played it. But when you strip away the expectations and actually judge the game on its own, you realise it had the best story, the best boss fights, the best Joker writing, the best early career Batman portrayal, the best atmosphere, the best detective mechanics, and some of the most emotional character moments in the entire series. Arkham Origins wasn't just good, it was essential. So, why was Arkham Origins the best Batman game? Because it showed us something no other Arkham game dared to show. Batman, before the legend, before the gadgets, before the reputation, before the city believed in him, it showed the doubts, the anger, the mistakes, the growing pains. It showed how Batman became Batman. Arkham Origins isn't just underrated, it's foundational. It adds depth, context, and emotion to every other Arkham game that comes after it. If the Arkham series is a story, then Origins is the chapter that makes every other chapter richer, deeper, and more meaningful. And that's why, despite being overlooked, criticised, and ignored, Arkham Origins stands as the best Batman game ever made. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to the channel. Thanks for watching,